of all, welcome to our Lam Family College of Business pitch contest. And I am Nara Zhang from Management Department. I'm Associate Professor of Management, and I am the Faculty Director of Pitch Competition at the College of Business and also the university. And this is today's agenda. First of all, we will have opening remarks by Eugene, our dean, and then I'm gonna briefly introduce Lam Family College of Business pitch contest, and then I'm gonna introduce our judge panel, and then I'm going to introduce the order of presentation. Then we're gonna have our pitch competition. So we have total 5 teams. So we have first team pitch, and then Q&A session with the first team and the judge panel, and then second team's pitch, and then second team and the judge Q&A session, and then third team, fourth team, and the fifth team. And then after all teams presentation, all teams pitches, we're gonna have a fan favorite poll. So we're gonna pick the most loved pitch by the audience. And then during the time, all the judges will be in a breakout room and discuss about the first team, second team, and the third team. And that after 15 minutes of deliberation, they're gonna come back to the main room and they announce about the first team, second team, and the third team. And then while they're having deliberation at the breakout room, I'm gonna promote other innovation and entrepreneurship initiative events. And then we're gonna have our presentation, and then we're gonna conclude our pitch competition today. Sounds good? Okay. So our dean, Eugene, is here to open our pitch competition. So welcome, Eugene.
Thank you, Nara. First of all, I want to congratulate all the students for stepping up to participate in this competition. You're
Eugene,
all
I
winners.
think we cannot hear you.
Oh.
Somehow. Can you just try again?
Can you hear me now? Okay, thank you. So, well, first of all, thank you all for being here. And I want to congratulate all the students for stepping up to participate in the competition. You're all winners because you took the trouble and the risk and put in the time to share your ideas with us in the world. For us and for the college, innovation and entrepreneurship is one of our signature events. We have, thanks to the generous support of our Chris Larson and the RippleWorks Foundation, we have invested in signature programs in innovation and entrepreneurship. As part of that, we have created a 1,700 square foot facility called the Innovation Hub, and where there's a maker space and a lot of other events. And I see the director, Dr. Yang, is also here. So it is something that we hope to expand, not just as a resource for students, but for the community as a whole. So thank you. And I want to have a special thank you to our judges. Thank you very much for taking the time to review these presentations and offer your feedback to the students. It means a lot to us, the time that you're putting into this. So thank you very much, and welcome everybody.
Thank you, Eugene. Okay. So I briefly talk about what's Lam Family College of Business pitch competition for all the audience. So the Lam Family College of Business pitch competition is open to all Lam Family College of Business students, and we accept all concepts and industries. And then we actually received applications from undergrads and the graduate level students. And then today we have 5 finalists. And the first winner will get $500, and the second place will get $300, and third place will get $200 after judges' deliberation. And then, like through the fan favorite poll, the winner will get $100 extra. And the first winner actually has another benefit in addition to the great feedback from our experts, because the first winner can be automatically go to the our innovation pitch competition as a competent, so as a finalist. So that's a really great advantage. So try your best and show us what you got today. And these are our judges today. We have Aaron. Aaron is from State Farm Ventures. Hi, Aaron. He's a scouting manager at the State Farm Ventures, and he has been our judges for Innovation Pitch Competition in 2022, and welcome, join again.
Thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. And we have Dhruti Joshi. She's from Sephora. She's digital and data project program manager. And it seems like she has some problem joining this Zoom meeting because she cannot have a SFSU account. So I don't know how to solve this issue. But anyway, she is one of the judges today. And then we have Stanley Lee. Stanley Lee is the CEO of NetSwitch Technology Management. And he's also advisory member of mentorship program at Lam Family College of Business. Welcome, Stanley.
Thank you. Glad to be here. Thank you for the invite.
Thank you. Okay. And this is the order of presentation. First, we're gonna have Navajo Connect, and then OPT Unity, and then Wagway, and then Warehouse Rhythms, and then finally we will have Worms Echo Solutions. So each team has 7 minutes of presentation, and then after the presentation, we'll have 8 minutes of Q&A session with the judges. Okay. And I'm trying to help the technical issue with one of the judges, but I don't know how to do this.
Actually, yeah, I had this similar problem because when she looked at the signed in, she probably hit that button. Right below it, there is one for just regular non-school people to join. So it's on the tiny print right below the big button. So she needs to look at that link below the button that says signs in.
I see.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, I try to send her a message. Okay. So the meeting ID and the passcode worked, right?
I had to use the one that was in the calendar invite, pitch 2024.
Uh-huh.
I saw there was 2 different passcodes, so yeah, that might be something too.
I see. Okay. Let me send her a registration link.
While you do that, would you like Stanley and I to share a little bit about ourselves? Or do you
Yeah,
want to?
yeah, it'll be great if I can do that. So yeah, Stanley or Aaron, do you want to like share like what you want to look at today's speech presentations and anything you want to share with the competence today?
Yeah, by the
Yeah.
way, Nara, I just emailed you with the pictures. I circle where she needs to click on it. So you can take a
Okay.
look at and forward that email to her.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Oh yeah, thanks, Stanley. Yeah, so I'm from State Farm. Hopefully you all know our commercials and everything. My role at State Farm is doing much like today, to learn about startups, learn about what solutions are out there. So I've got a lot of experience hearing various pitches. Excited for the topics that are up here, and happy to share feedback and support you all in your entrepreneurship journey.
Thank you, Aaron. I need to talk to you because I need funding too. So my name is Stanley Lee. I'm the CEO, and I have been I am an alumni. I was in San Francisco State, graduate with finance and real estate degree. And then I didn't like too much about the investment community at that point. So I moved on to the tech side. So I got my master in telecom management, has been in the industry for the last 30 years. So recently that our company, basically just like what I call the retro startup. So establish a platform as a service and focusing on cyber risk management, cyber resilience maturity level. How can we leverage ABCD technology, AI, blockchain, cybersecurity, data analytics, combine them into an automated platform to accelerate cyber resilience for small and mid-sized businesses? So look forward to hearing your pitch. Nara, back to you. You need more time?
Thank you so much. I'm trying to solve, okay. Okay.
So while you fixing the technical issue, Nara, so one thing that I have been also in the Shark Tank, and I spent a lot of time into the mentorship program for the students who doesn't know much about the mentorship program. Highly recommending joining us because this is part of our basically empowerment way to try to leverage what the school can offer, college of business can offer, to try to bridge you to the real life experience. And this is where I spend a lot of time helping the students from mentorships, internship track, and going into real life experience. As like this pitching, that's why I opening my conversation talking to Aaron, because this is the part that we always learning. We always going back in to try to explore something new. And so we never have enough time to learn. So this is a great way why I can, go back to San Francisco State, sharing my experience and try to bridge that gap. And hopefully I can learn something from all of you as well too.
Yeah, I think it's super awesome to have your experience, Stanley, just, knowing that you've been in the seat of the founders that are on the call here, walking the entrepreneurship journey, and knowing that this is a very specific experience. I would say I probably bring the experience of the person on the other side of the table, the one that you're pitching to. Whether you're looking for investment, some look for kind of VC experience. Though admittedly, I'm more of the corporate venture capital. But the other thing I'm interested in is, are there opportunities to work with the startups to bring in some of those technologies and work with some teams within State Farm so that we might leverage it, might go towards a POC or something. So hopefully between Stanley and myself, we give you the full perspective of both sides of the table there.
Okay, thank you so much, Aaron and Stanley. Now we have our last judge here. And then, Drudy's here. So Drudy, do you want to introduce yourself briefly to us? Sorry for the technical issue.
No, thank you so much, Nara, for inviting me. It's a pleasure to be here. And similarly, we had Nara in one of our hackathons. So I'm excited to see what the contestant has to present and how can I contribute to kind of guide them through to see out of the box or see potential opportunity. Little bit on my background, I'm currently working as a technical program manager at Sephora, And in parallel, I'm also a Chief Program Officer at PMI San Francisco Bay Area chapter, where we conduct similar experiences to learn from to actually learn with the real life experience, professional experiences, developing solutions, creating innovative ideas, and how we can also expand the networking and expand the knowledge by sharing with each other. So super excited. Thanks again. And apologies, Nara, to bug you with the technical difficulty.
No problem. Now let's start our first team's presentation. So first team is Navajo Connect. Are you ready to present?
Yes, I am ready, Nara.
Okay, great. So you got 7 minutes. So whenever you're ready, you can start. Oh, you can share your screen with the audience.
Okay, I'm ready, Nara.
Okay, time is starting.
Good afternoon. My name is Mark Johnson, and I am an enrolled member of the Navajo Nation from New Mexico. Today, I'm thrilled to introduce you to the Navajo Connect app, a groundbreaking initiative designed to awaken and amplify civic engagement within the Navajo Nation. This graduation photograph from my Army basic training in 1994 marks the start of my transformative journey in the military, a period steeped in the rigorous cultivation of discipline and leadership. These principles were not just theoretical, they were integral to our everyday existence, fundamentally reshaping how we think and act. Real quickly, I dedicated 23 years to the Army Medical Corps as a microbiologist, retiring in 2017. Back to the photo. The intense environment of basic training is where drill sergeants masterfully use a potent mix of discipline and pressure to transform recruits. Their relentless approach instills a deep-seated transformation within us. These pivotal experiences, mirroring the Army's ethos, values, and leadership principles, continue to burn within me. Now poised to feel transformative change within the Navajo Nation through Navajo Connect. To speak candidly, there are individuals who require more than a gentle nudge for engagement. They need a compelling, radical initiative to truly capture their attention and commitment. This philosophy underpins my approach to this work. It's essential to acknowledge openly that the Navajo people harbor a deep-seated distrust of government, a consequence of our history with the United States and its trail of broken treaties and unfulfilled promises. This history prompts a critical question among Navajos. Why should we engage with the democratic system of those who have historically marginalized us? This breeds a sense of cynicism and detachment, not only towards the electoral process, but also towards broader community participation. Next slide. The genesis of Navajo Connect. Navajo Connect emerged in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic, a period that illuminated a critical truth. Presented with clear, immediate advantages, our Navajo community demonstrates a significant willingness to engage. This eagerness to engage was spotlighted in a New York Times article from 2022, displayed alongside this slide. The article detailed how Navajo adults received two $2,000 stimulus payments and children $600 each, with the condition of being enrolled members of the Navajo Nation. This policy spurred an extraordinary surge in enrollment with nearly 100,000 new registrations within just a month. Leveraging this wave of involvement, Navajo Connect aims to motivate Navajo individuals to actively maintain their enrollment certification. This effort goes beyond merely leveraging a temporary surge in participation. It seeks to convert this initial enthusiasm into a perpetual dedication to civic engagement. With the heightened enrollment figures during the pandemic serving as a turning point, Navajo Connect is designed to intensify this connection, providing immediate as well as long-lasting benefits for our community, thereby fostering a deeper commitment to civic involvement. Target market. Our primary focus is on engaging Navajo Nation residents who reside on the reservation, especially young adults and those in remote areas, plus the 230,000 Navajos living off the reservation. These individuals often face barriers to political participation due to accessibility and connectivity challenges. Navajo Connect addresses these needs by providing easy access to information and creating strong incentives for engagement. While initially tailored for the Navajo Nation, Navajo Connect's model of incentivized participation and secure online engagement is designed with scalability in mind. This allows for adaptation to meet the unique needs of other Native American tribes, potentially creating a nationwide network of engaged and empowered communities. Our competitive advantage. Navajo Connect stands out with its harmonious integration of cultural customization, insightful behavioral strategies, and robust security measures. This fusion makes our platform exceptionally relevant to our culture while effectively encouraging active participation and ensuring the reliability and integrity of every interaction. The adoption of blockchain technology marks a pivotal enhancement in security, transparency, and ease of access for election processes. By incorporating blockchain into our voting systems, we're taking a substantial leap towards modernizing and fortifying the foundations of our democratic practices. Implementation plan. Following the pilot, our focus will shift towards user retention with continuous improvements and incentive programs designed to keep the community engaged and census information correct. This will include educational content on the significance of census participation for the Navajo identity and benefits. Call to action. We invite you to support Navajo Connect through funding, strategic partnerships, and advocacy. Join us in our pilot programs and community forums and engage with us to shape the future of Navajo civic participation. And who am I? Like I said, I served for 23 years in the Army. I have a very non-traditional educational journey. I completed the 23 years, and now for the past 7 years, I've been using the GI Bill to fund my educational journey. And now in 2 months, I complete my MBA program. Thank you for your time. I'm open to any questions you have.
Thank you. So now we're gonna have Q&A session with the judges. So judges, you can just share any opinions to Mark.
Hey, Mark, thank you for your presentation. It's clear you have a real passion for your community, which is awesome. I was a little bit curious, we're talking about civic engagement and supporting voting. Are you planning on this being a for-profit, or was this more of a nonprofit, like building the community?
Thank you for the question, Aaron. I would go down the nonprofit route, Aaron.
Okay, gotcha. And then I'm not familiar with the way the local Navajo government is structured, but is there a certain governing body or tribal leadership that would be the one to make the decision to and I'll use air quotes since you said it's a nonprofit, but to buy in to using your voting platform?
Yeah, great question, Aaron. So according to, treaties and everything, we are sovereign from the United States. So we create our own, basic rules, right? So to sort of answer your question, it would go through the Navajo Council in order for them to buy off on this, Aaron.
Great, thank you. And do you have a kind of a roadmap of how you want to present to them and share with them?
Sure. I know it would well, I was gonna say a picture's worth 1,000 words, but actually, building the app, like I said, the pilot, and being able to run through the actual blockchain technology and all of that, that would be the optimal way to present it, Aaron.
Great, thank you.
Okay, so next, Drudy, do you want to ask some questions?
Yeah, sure. I mean, great presentation, great way of thinking through how we can come, like a better word, but also bring the hidden communities to stand out. So I really appreciate for you to choosing the topic. But my question to you is, you have quite a goal to make the community very competitive in technology. Have you thought about the funding sources? And second, have you thought about how this competitive advantage and knowledge to bring to the community would benefit not even just by taking this initiative within the Navajo community, but extending the partnership with different communities who is already ahead in the game?
Thank you for the question. Well, quickly, this is my revenue model. I only had 7 minutes. I forego it. So again, the funding sources would be government grants, local business advertising, and premium features. But the second part of your question, again, to bring it to other Native American communities, right now, the focus would be the features be in the Navajo language. So when I'm going to scale it up and present it to other tribes, we definitely would want to reach out to someone within that tribe who understands their cultural traditions and implement that to within their own Navajo Connect. We'd probably change that to their tribe, Cherokee Connect. But that's my answer to your question.
Thank you so much. A follow-up question on intellectual competitiveness. So what I was asking, thinking out of the box is, would it benefit to kind of create a partnership with startups and other companies to bring intellectual knowledge to the community, so the advancement that you are seeking could be benefited with a speed up process?
I would say yes, to be honest, but I coming from the military, I kind of am a person who likes to just go at it alone, right? But bringing on somebody to assist me would definitely speed this up.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay, lastly, Stanley, do you have a question?
Yeah, I'll be quick about this. Thank you, Mark, for your service to the country, first of all, and your passion to the community. Really appreciate that. And I think that your passion shows throughout your presentations, but I have one question. What exactly is your solution to the problem? Because I hear multiple things, and I don't need to answer at this point because we're running out of time, but I think that you need to clearly articulate that solution statement to address your problem statement. So these are the two things that I am not clear, because in one hand that I hear that you try to be nonprofit and try to outreach, reach out to the community. But on the other hand, I also hear that you have a technology solution, try to build an app using blockchain technology, but I couldn't quite make the connections in between your slides. So that's my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Stanley. Thank you for your feedback.
Sure.
Okay, so that was Navajo Connect. And then now we are gonna have our next team, OPT Unity. So
Yep.
please share your slides.
Okay.
Okay, if you're ready, let me know.
Yep. I'm ready.
Okay, go.
Hello, everyone. I'm here today to share with you our business plan. Opportunity is a combination of OPT and opportunity. OPT means that optical practical training is a program that temporarily allows international students with an F1 visa in the United States to work up to 12 months. Let's move on to agenda and introduction of our team. I'm going to tell you our mission and business model and our services and competitive analysis and size of a market and plan of action. And I will introduce our team member, Yoshitomo Mori and Hiroki Terada and Willie Sandy. We are international students and majoring in the international business in the certificate program. Willie Sandy will answer the question in the Q&A session. Our mission is to provide proper information and strong connections and opportunities for international students. In this part, I'm going to introduce the business model of opportunity. This business idea is for international students who are eligible to work in the US during OPT. Our problem statement revolves around the inadequacy of information available to international students seeking employment through OPT. The fundamental business model entails reaching out to individuals who are former international students working under OPT status, typically via platforms such as LinkedIn. We will request them to evaluate the companies that have worked for in the past. In return for their evaluations, we will provide compensations or money. This can provide job opportunities for international students who require additional financial support. One approach to generating income involves charging job seekers a subscription fee to access this information. Additionally, we plan to charge companies interested in hiring international students through OPT for posting their job advertisement on our platform. Through our services, we offer job posting that provide information about openings at various companies. And secondary articles which offer useful information for students. And thirdly, a community platform designed to connect OPT students with OPT employees. Lastly, one-on-one meeting to engage with OPT employees for personalized guidance and support. Next, competitive analysis. Our business analysis focuses on our strengths and weakness and opportunities and threats. Starting with our strengths, we pride ourselves on ensuring efficient connection between students and opportunities and job acquisition. Additionally, our credibility is bolstered by strategic partnerships. Moreover, we will make sure to reduce mismatches by applicants understanding the company exactly. However, we recognize that acquiring user bases initially can be challenging for a new platform like ours. Furthermore, our expansion may be initially limited to specific regions. And educating OPT students requires dedicated collaboration with institutions and career centers. Despite these challenges, we see numerous growth opportunities. By enhancing credibility and adapting to evolving immigration policies, and we can expand our platform globally to meet the increasing demand for diverse talent. However, there are also potential threats we must address. Economic downtowns may reduce demand for OPT students as well as changes in visa regulation and demand for international students. Okay, next size of market are data based on Statista shows that the international student employment industry has grown rapidly, with more than 1 million international students studying in the US in 2022 to 23, compared to less than 1 million in 2021 to 22. This surge brings opportunities for the employment industry, and increased enrollment presents due to diverse skills and perspectives. Last part, plan to take action. We'll research and understand what OPT students need and include the visa regulation in order to provide an adequate platform. Then we'll work with universities and companies to make our platform more credible and accessible over time. We also do campaigns to teach people about our platform and get them involved. That's our plan. Thank you for listening. And I'll pass Willie. Thank you.
Okay, great. Now we're gonna have a Q&A session with the judges. So we're gonna start with Drudy, and then Stanley, and then Aaron, okay? Drudy, do you have any questions?
So first of all, let me congratulate the team. From the presentation point of view, it has been impressive. You also, I liked how you provided the SWOT analysis, which is very crucial for any new initiatives. The second thing I would say, you highlighted key risks also, the market competitions and less of engagement or slow engagement to begin with. So I kudos you for going through the thorough market analysis and bringing up crucial points to the presentations. Secondly, there are my question would be, there are potential opportunities to mitigate those risks. Have you thought of them and what it would be?
So the risk of our companies is that in the US, for the international students, it might be hard to find a job, especially the regulation always change over the years. And we try to make this our platform to be a great connection between the international student and between the company, because right now there's not a lot of platform that could provide those features, especially if we look like a LinkedIn or Handshake. Most of the apps or platform, it's occasionally just for the employee who just find a job, not for the international students. So that's our consideration for that.
Thank you for the answer. So what I understood is you are completely thinking about the targeted partnerships with the company so they can provide the international students an opportunity and opens up door for the career transition. Is that true?
Yeah. Yes.
So my question is, for that targeted partnership, what could you potentially start with? What would be your approach? How would you mitigate the risk of not losing the engagement? Because when you start a website or anything, it would involve some sort of expense. Have you thought of those steps? If not, that's okay too, but that's something you should consider with.
Okay. Honestly, we're still not thinking until that moment. So, yeah.
Thank you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Stanley, please.
Great presentation. Thank you. It was really well presented in the presentations. However, my recommendation is try to maximize your 7 minutes. I looked at the time and you basically went to 5-6 minutes. So you lost a golden opportunity to elaborate about on your idea. So watch for your time. Also, one of the key elements that I go back into Professor Zhang's framework on judging is you miss the revenue model, the significance of the revenue model, which is very important because you have touched on a point that I'm really interested as an employer. And I'll share more with you about my experience hiring OPT students in a minute. But this subscription fee, actually, I want to hear more because I leverage OPT students as much as I can. One thing, as a side note, that the challenge the foreign student has to go through is to make sure you get the social security number before you try to get the OPT. Very critical. A lot of students, international student, doesn't understand about getting the social security before they can get paid. So before you can even apply for a job. So these are the threats that, potentially miss. From an employer perspective, one thing I would like to hear more is how do you educate us about OPT students? Because this is a crucial point, is everybody's having a hard time trying to find their first job. But from an employer perspective, and you can hear, there are demands that are looking for employee, but how do you bridge that gap? How do you well, it's a question for you to answer. How do you plan to convince the employer to hire OPT student, just like they would hire a US American citizens to fulfill that job? I would like to hear your feedback. What would you do to emphasize the advantage or the disadvantage so you can educate employer like myself?
So in our platform, we try to educate all of international students. So we need to start on the small scale. So I would like to start our platform first in the SFSU. So we can educate all international students how they apply for the OPT, how they get the social security number, and all of that, the required documents. And for the
I think that from the employee, from the student side, you don't have to sell them too much. It's really on the buyer side, or in this case, the employer. They are the one that need to educate, because I talk to my peer. Have you, because the student come to me and they say, well, I don't have this opportunity. I pass it on to my peers. Say, what is OPT? They have no idea what OPT, how it works, what are the legal boundaries, what can they do with it. So I have to teach them how to engage in the OPT process. I think that is going to be your challenge, is how to educate the employers, not the student themselves, because the student, they're looking for a job. We all know that, but I think that is the part that, tied it into the revenue model. Are you planning to charge the student? Because at one point I heard that you plan to charge the student, but at the same time you talk about subscription fee. That is what I go back into the significancy that you need to clarify.
Also, for the employer, we try to make a partnership with the company, so we can like create like a seminar for the employer. What's the OPT and what's the best about it? Because I believe for the international students, they're trying really hard to find a job, and it will be like the best for the candidate, also for the company in the US, because yeah, and
That's part of it. Because of the time, through Professor Jung, you can reach out to me. I can help you with it.
Okay.
And that's what I help in the mentorship program as well.
Thank you.
Okay, so we are actually out of time, but I give like 1 minute to Aaron. So Aaron, do you have any questions? And just ask any questions within 1 minute.
I was going to double emphasize what Stanley's advice was. That was going to be kind of my main question. The other thing, as a secondary, is to be thinking about how you plan to grow your market, your user base of international students. Since they are international students, you probably have a diverse set of languages and different subcultures. So I would recommend starting in a certain area and then growing from there.
Yeah, so we try to like start from the SFSU campus. So we try to like a small scale, and yeah, we like to try stuff from there.
Okay,
Great.
okay. So that's the time. And then we're gonna have our last next team, Wagway. And the Wagway team, please share your screen.
Okay. All right.
Okay, if you're ready, let me know.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, great. Start.
Hello, everyone. My name is Nishta Corday, and thank you so much for your time. And I'm really excited about the opportunity to introduce you to Wagway. All right, so let me go ahead and set up a situation for you, a situation perhaps most pet parents are familiar with. Let me introduce you to Wakaba. Wakaba is a Gen Z adult with a very demanding job and a love for travel. And these are her two fur babies, Seal and Happy. Seal is a bit of an older dog. He loves his routine, and he was recently diagnosed with chronic valve disease and has a history of anxiety. And Happy just loves her cuddles and loves watching some reality TV. Wakaba just booked her week-long summer holiday, but who will she trust to take care of her fur babies? And this is exactly where Wagway comes in. So what problem is Wagway solving? There's currently an absence of a personalized pet service platform offered by certified caregivers at an affordable price. For just a moment, I want to focus in on what certified caregivers means to us here at Wagway. Certified caregivers is someone who is certified in first aid and CPR training. And this is particularly important because 40% of cats, older cats, and 1 out of 5 older dogs are more prone to experiencing unconsciousness or experiencing seizures. And as a pet sitter who's taking care of your fur baby, here at Wagway, we believe that it's important that the first responder is educated in what to do in case of an emergency. Okay, so before Wagway, what were her options for Wakaba? A pet hotel, a pet sitter, or family and friends? And there are 6 criteria that typically pet parents we look at: personalized care, affordability, cost, scheduling, medication administration, which is particularly important for Seal, her puppy, convenience, and whether it takes care of all pets, especially because she doesn't want to separate her 2 fur babies. And this is our target audience. Our target audience are suburban and city pet owners. Trends show that pets are quickly outnumbering children in US cities, and the US pet boarding services market currently in 2021 was projected and estimated to be $2.1 billion and has been growing annually at a percent of 8% every year. So there's definitely a demand for this service. The key benefits of Wagway. All caregivers on Wagway are CPR first aid certified. All background checks are also conducted, and these services are available for all pets. From the pet sitter's perspective, there's low commission fees, immediate payments because of the transactions that take place on the app, and there's built-in software for pet givers, allowing them to take the ease off of the back end and focus more of their attention on taking care of your fur babies. So now Wakaba's downloaded Wagway. She's going to go ahead and set up her profile as well as her profile for her 2 fur babies. For Wakaba, she can choose overnight lodging or hourly services, which include on-demand services such as dog walking. She can video chat or message throughout the time that she's away from her pets or prior to set up to see if the pets blend well with the pet sitter, as well as the app keeps track of recent caregivers to make sure that the process, every time you use it, the more you use it, the easier it is and more convenient it becomes for you, as well as transactions and add-on services. The current add-on service that Wagway provides is that pet sitters can actually come pick up your pet from your home for additional convenience. And then for the pets, there's generally a template that's provided, things that they enjoy, what their routine looks like, how often they like to be taken outside or what activities, what their medical history is, vaccinations, whether they're neutered, as well as if they're insured and their vet information. And anything highlighted in pink allows the pet parent to add in more information. For example, upload a record of the most up-to-date vaccinations. So now that her profiles are set up, she's going to go ahead and search. She is looking for her overnight trip or her week-long trip. So she's going to choose her overnight lodging option. She's going to go ahead and put in her dates, how close she wants the pet sitters to be to her. She did go ahead and choose that add-on service. Because of Seal's health condition, it is important to her that the pet sitters are insured and how much she's willing to pay for both the dog and the bunny. And then it'll go ahead and show you the pet sitters that are most compatible with you and your pets. It provides ratings. You can go ahead and read the reviews. And then the price that's shown, for example, anyone that has more than 2 pets, the price shown is actually a compilation of the cost for both pets per night. And then she decided to go with me, which is very exciting. I'm excited to take care of her pets. And then as you can see, the pet giver's profile is much more in-depth. It shows how they're certified, how much they charge, whether they're insured. And then it allows them to keep track of their scheduling, video chatting, messaging, client management, which is important to keep track of reoccurring customers, as well as transactions and invoices. And so how does Wagway make its revenue? It makes revenue in 4 different ways. The first way is on a service fee or a commission. 10% commission finder's fee is deducted from the caregiver, and a 3% commission fee is added to the total cost of the pet parent. So for example, if me as a pet giver makes $100 for the service that I provide, 10%, so $10 will be deducted, and that will contribute to Wagway's revenue. And then we offer 4 different types of insurances, 2 for the pet caregiver, general and professional, and that's paid on a monthly basis, as well as for pets, and that depends on the size and the animal, and it's on a per transaction basis. So it's not something that you need to pay for monthly. And then Wagway does offer the CPR and first aid certification. The first time fee is $25. And because that CPR certification expires every 2 years and it's required by Wagway to resubmit that certification, it is a $20 for reoccurring certifications. And then we have our add-ons as well as our late pickup fees. Us as a company, we definitely don't want to contribute to our carbon footprint and to climate change. So as compared to a pet hotel, pet sitting significantly reduces the excess production of electricity, wastewater, and the wastage of excessive water. And so I hope you choose to care for your pet the right way, the Wagway, and thank you so much.
Thank you. Now we're gonna have Q&A time with the judges. So we're gonna start with Stanley, and then Aaron, and then Judy. Stanley.
So I hope you already factor in that you're going to buy insurance from State Farm as your underwriter. So you know your audience, which is wonderful. I mean, it's kudos to you
That's definitely an option, yes.
Definitely that is a catch to any competition, that you can relate whatever you're pitching to one of the judge or the audience. So which is great segment to this. So beautiful presentation, not just because you presented using slide, but you presented as a story, which is very compelling, easy to listen, easy to follow. And I love the screenshots. And that's why I picked up the Wagway insurance as part of your revenue model. The criticism, however, is you didn't talk about the competitiveness, what is in the market space, because I'm sure there's a lot of competitor or a similar competitor. So you need to differentiate that and explain to the investors, why should they pick you? You need to emphasize that. And at the same time that you didn't address about the scaling, how you're going to scale the model, how you go to market. So these are the critical criteria. Again, go back into the significance and the execution portion. It ties in not just a great idea or concept, but you have thought throughout the presentation that how you're going to counter those competitive and attacks and things like that. So please add on to your answer if you have any.
Yes, please, if I can just have an opportunity. So there are competitors. One of the top competitors are Rover or Holodog. And the largest, what makes us different, what differentiates Wagway from other competitors is initially the commission fee. Commission fee deducted from the pet sitters can range from 25 to 40%, which largely takes away from your take-home income. And so Wagway allows you to take home a lot more revenue than other competitors. Additionally, there isn't a requirement for pet sitters to join these platforms. The only screening that is done is a background check. And for me, if I was trusting my pet's life with someone, I would need a lot more credibility. And Wagway does that through the certification. So in case that your pet does have some kind of medical illness or disability, it's important that as first responders, who your pet sitter will be, is trained to do so. And another requirement is in case of an emergency, they're required to have a valid driver's license so they can also transport your pet, because there isn't necessarily a 911 for pets.
Thank you.
Okay, Aaron, please. Yeah.
Yeah, and kind of building on what Stanley was talking about, when I heard your presentation, I thought this makes total sense. This is awesome. This was a win-win for everybody. But I also wondered, well, why hasn't someone else done this? And I think that there might be some sort of economics to it that I'd be curious of. I know we may not have gotten to it in 7 minutes, but as you built this out, I think showing your financials or showing kind of how you've designed your business model to show that there's no hidden catch. Because I think when things sound so great, I'm always wondering where's the crunch going to be. So I think as you develop that out, speak to that. As Stanley also mentioned, love the connection to insurance. One other piece of advice is if you are looking to continue to scale this out, there are insurance companies that may be able to offer their insurance, and so you would be a different distribution method for them to sell their products. Insurance is a very hard business, and all the underwriting and so forth. So if there's someone who already has an established business model and can handle all of that, it's sometimes easier to just have them sell it. There's different licensing I can go over maybe later, but nice job overall.
Absolutely. And if I can just elaborate for a moment, I think it often does seem like it's too good to be true. And I think that's why we try to build out different revenues of different streams of revenue, because solely making it on a commission basis, for it to benefit both parties, it's almost impossible. And so that's the reason that we really try to build out different forms of revenue. So it's not solely dependent on one stream.
Great, thank you.
Lastly, Trudy.
Yeah, I believe Stanley and Aaron highlighted most of the points that a few of them could be overlap, but also you just shared that you thought through different models of revenue, and I was going to bring it up. How are you going to base your sustaining of the program and scaling just based on the commission? because you also mentioned that you are going to provide provide certified professionals. So when we talk about certification and quality, it comes with the higher expense. So my question would be if you have considered or performed the analysis between the expense versus benefit ratio, and how that understanding, what is your approach look like for the scaling perspective?
Right. So it's definitely something that I believe that I need to put more thought and consideration into in terms of finding a balance between the two. There is definitely more of a process to join Wagway as a pet sitter because of that initial you need to become CPR certified that perhaps other apps might not require. And that's the reason that even when we're offering these different streams of revenue for our business, we're also trying to provide competitive pricing as compared to other service providers. For example, another third-party CPR first aid certification is American Red Cross, which they offer for pets as well. Our pricing is very competitive to theirs, and in fact, in the long term, it pays off because of the recurring certifications. But to your point, that is something that I feel I need to put a little bit more intention into. But thank you so much. I'm definitely going to take that into account.
The second thing I would also say that there are critical aspects that you have highlighted, but I'm not sure whether if I missed it or you missed it, but what is the critical KPIs that you are trying to achieve out of this? Key performance indicators, or what are the metrics that would certify your project success?
I think she's frozen.
Yeah, I think so too.
Yeah. Oh, that's a bummer. Okay.
I know.
Okay, so yeah, I think she's gonna like come back later. So that's it for the Q&A session with the team. And then are you there? Can you answer?
Yes, I'm there. Sorry, I'm not sure what happened to my connection. I'm so sorry.
Okay, you got 30 seconds to answer.
Okay.
Oh, so you might have missed the questions.
The
I
question
was
got cut
asking
out.
about the
I'm not sure if you're
metrics.
able.
Go ahead, Nishita.
You said I'm sorry. My connection is you said something about the metrics. Can you please repeat your question?
What are the metrics you have identified that would prove your project success?
In terms of, I've done research for other, like I mentioned, that the pet boarding industry is booming. It's something that is exponentially growing by 8% every year, as well as I've done market research in terms of Rover and Holidog, and just kind of based off of their revenues and what their market and what their business models look like. I think that there's a real opportunity for growth and opportunity for entry. And especially because how we differentiate ourselves, I think that's something that's really attractive to both pet sitters and pet parents.
Thank you. And Nara, if I can take 30 more seconds, overall great presentation, but you may want to consider some ADA aspects in choosing your colors, whether it is for your app or for your presentations, just with respect to the broader audience group. So something to consider with in future.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good. Thank you so much.
I know the judges. Yeah. Okay, that was Team Wagway, and then we're gonna have Warehouse Rhythms. Team, are you ready to share your screen with us?
Yes, one moment, please.
Sure.
Okay. Okay, hello. I'm here to talk about warehouse rhythms as my innovative idea to transform empty warehouse spaces into creative event spaces. So I'm the founder, Carolyn Zimmerman, and we're located in Bayview, San Francisco. So our team here consists of me, founder and CEO, and my middle school friend, Alvaro Puri, as co-founder. We're both passionate about the music scene in the Bay Area and decided to join forces and build on that community. So the problem at hand here is that a lot of EDM artists are faced with are barriers of creative expression. A lot of bars have policies in place that either restrict the type of music that's played, how long the event goes on for, or how loud it is. For example, Mothership Bar in the Mission District, they have a policy of a limitation of 138 beats per minute, as well as just a general decibel restriction of 105 to 110 after 10 p.m. in residential areas. A lot of venues also have their own sound and lighting in place, which kind of restricts the possibility of renting out a specific sound system of the artist's choice. So this is where the innovation takes place. By leveraging connections with a family friend, we get access to empty warehouse spaces that are in between leases, which allows us to transform like unused spaces into creative and alive spaces. And this kind of creates like a win-win situation for both the property owners and Warehouse Rhythms clients, because sometimes the spaces are like on the market for close to a year, and we clean up, we make sure everything's like in order, do some handiwork, general upkeep. We test out the power, make sure everything's like still working. And that's something that the property owners appreciate. And we also, because we get to use the spaces. So here we have, sorry. Here, let's imagine DJ Alex. He's a seasoned DJ. He can't find a venue that's not going to break the bank, but still delivers a top-notch acoustics and doesn't bog you down with endless rules. He needs a venue that's versatile and dynamic, just like the beats that he drops. He's after a spot where late night vibes, killer sound systems, and immersive light shows aren't just possible, they're the main event. We envision events where creatives like Alex can truly express themselves. And here we have a video of DJ Strobes. He's at our warehouse. He's doing his thing. He's having fun, just like we want. So here we have Warehouse 50. It's 8,000 square feet. It's 30 feet high. It's 80 feet in width, and it's 100 feet in length. It has 2 full bathrooms, a generator of 200 amperes and 480 volts, and 2 multi-purpose rooms. It's a huge space. We haven't used it yet, but for the right event. And then we have Warehouse 62. We have a little drone video of the space. It's 3,200 square feet. It's 24 feet in height, 32 feet in width, 100 feet length, 1 full bathroom with additional sink, a generator of 200 amperes, 480 volts, and 3 different multi-purpose rooms. Both great spaces. And just to touch on really quickly, the next video is an event that we did last month in February, and
Pineapple Records. About to have a great night. Let's turn the fuck up, baby.
Connection's a little bad here. I think I have the video here.
Pineapple Records. About to have a
It's my connection. I'll just proceed. It's a video of the space. Maybe at the end I'll get to show it. Or maybe here it's. I'll just stop it there. But yeah, it's an event we did. I had a lot of fun. Everyone there had a lot of fun. It was one of our more successful events. So we're passionately dedicated to facilitating your event dreams into a memorable reality over at Warehouse Rhythms. So now that we've touched on the problems and needs of our target audience, and we explained the opportunity we have, let's talk about how we make money. So there's a few areas of consistent revenue here. One of them being the rental fee. We charge a base fee of $1,200, and then if it's a late night event, we add different fees. As such, we do $100 after each hour after too. We also sell water, snacks like soda. We don't really go into the alcohol route because we don't have the proper permitting for it. Obviously, that's a huge issue. But yeah, we also have a vendor list. So we will ask certain vendors to sell their art, customizable air protection, raver gear, and we just charge them a flat rate, and then they're there to sell, and it really adds to the event. And we are potentially gonna work with brands for sponsored types of events in the future if there's interest. So the market validation. So to touch on the validation in this industry with EDM, it's only getting bigger. There is a 10-year projection statistic derived from a recent LinkedIn article, which showed the expected market value of EDM to double in about 10 years at $20 billion. So there's definite interest in it. And even with the progression of just doing these events for the past 5 months, we've seen heavy interest. Just as our production gets better, as we get more gear to offer, there's a lot of interest in this area of the event space.
Okay, time's up. Okay, time's up, and then maybe you can just show what you prepared during Q&A with the judges. Okay, so we're gonna start with Aaron, and then Trudy, and then Stanley. Aaron, do you have any questions?
Yeah. So I did want to double check a little bit into your business model and kind of what your goals are, because it sounds like you have one warehouse already and you've got kind of a business model for that. So is your goal to expand to more warehouses or just to continue to operate the existing warehouse that you have?
So I wanted to touch on it. But basically we're going to pivot to streaming and then try to create a brand from it. And so that we were able to just work out of any other warehouse, because we recognize that it's not super sustainable just because we don't have a specific lease with the warehouses ourselves. It's just kind of whatever's available. So we're hoping to create a brand and through that be able to afford a lease. So we're just working with what we have. We're just being innovative at this point.
Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. And I think depending on, what conversations you're having, if you're looking at investor conversations or others, they're probably going to actually be more curious in the leasing part, just in terms of your ability to scale your business, and doing the leasing has to do with securing space and so forth. And although that's not as exciting, that's probably something that they'll be interested in hearing more about.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry to cut you off. We run into that issue where we've lost clients because we can't secure a date that's really far out. So we recognize that too, but this is just we're just doing what we can with what we have right now.
Good.
Okay, Trudy, do you have any questions?
Yeah, sure. Very creative idea for a creative purpose. Congratulations. But double clicking on what Aaron started. So my question would be, how do you track and manage? Because I believe you mentioned in between lease warehouses that you occupy, and then you kind of offer these events for those venues. So what is your plan and how do you manage those?
So usually if there's a bid on a warehouse, we'll know right away. And there's usually a 6 to 8 week like gap from when the first bid is placed to when the warehouse might get leased out. So we just keep everything in a 1 month like basis. Like if somebody wants to throw an event with us, we do it within a month.
Thank you. The second question I have is, what is you shared your proven example. So that is pretty impressive that you have already executed one event and you were successful. So if I may ask, I would be curious to learn, what is your net profit after like putting your sweat and tears, getting compensated for what you have contributed to, what your partner has contributed to? So what I'm trying to gauge is how worth is this, the net benefit versus the level of effort?
I would say it's pretty high given that we don't have to pay like actual rent for it. For the event that I had the video for example, that was like one of our more successful ones. We had about 300 people show up. They all bought lots of water and snacks and stuff. We made about $700 in revenue just selling water and snacks. We charged them $1,500 because they wanted a bigger event. I mean, given all of that, we spent basically 4 hours the day before, 4 hours before the event, and the event went from 9 to 2 a.m. I don't know how much I want to charge myself. It was definitely above minimum wage. It was a good night. I don't know. I haven't thought of a specific answer. I just know like it's working.
Something to be like thought through, and it is worth to consider your effort also counted for. That's how you can come to a net profit, and that also can lead you to how you can do the scaling approach. I believe those are my questions. Yeah, great work. Keep it rising.
Thank you.
Okay, lastly, Stanley.
Sounds like fun. Where do I sign up? So one thing that I see that being fun aside, just put it back, I'll focus on to fundraising as a objective. One question I have besides great work that you guys have done is, what is the barrier of entry? I don't foresee that has a very high barrier of entry. What it means is if you have been successful, other people can jump in and kind of duplicate what you have. So my recommendation, well, yeah, that's why I want to hear, you know, what is the barrier of entry for other people to come in to compete with you?
I mean, honestly, the shows are really popular. We have someone, I guess, competing one street over on Wallace and Jennings, and their venue is super small. And it's just, I just know because I'm like kind of in the scene, like there's no one doing what I'm doing right now. In terms of like warehouse events in San Francisco, maybe in Oakland, I don't know. But it's hard to find people that are flexible enough to let you use a warehouse in this manner. So the fact that we have someone that's letting us do that, it's insured, of course. But if there was something else going on, I would know about it, and there's not. So.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so that was the Q&A session with the judges, and we will have our last team, Worms Echoes Solutions. Are you ready to share your screen with us?
Hi, yes, thank you. I will do that in just a moment. And I believe I am ready to present.
Okay.
Great. Hi, everyone. My name is Hussein. I'm a business administration student here at San Francisco State. I'm graduating this semester, and this is my business proposal on Worms Eco Solution. So before I get into the business, I want to talk about the issue that I want to talk about the issue first. So the issue is in 2010, in the United States, we produced around 250 million tons of trash. By 2018, that number was up to 292 million tons. And unfortunately, there's no more recent data by the EPA, but the trend is pretty clear that we're producing more waste every year. And the issue is not only the amount of waste we're producing, but the amount of resources and recyclable goods and food that's going to the landfills. So out of the 292 million tons of trash, about 221 million ton was recyclable / compostable material. That's about 3/4. And out of that, we only recycled 69 million tons, and we only composted 25 million tons. Now, out of the 292 million tons of food, 292 million tons of trash, 61 million tons was food. And we all know what happens to food in the waste lands, and it produces methane gas. And not only that, our landfills are filling up at an alarming rate. So that's the issue I'm looking to solve. And we're going to do that by vermicomposting. And that's transforming waste produced by individuals, communities, and businesses into a resource. For those of you who don't know, vermicomposting is basically worm poop. So what it is it's a sustainable solution to reduce the food waste and at the same time improve agricultural productivity. Worms, they thrive on a lot of different organic material, a lot of foods, a lot of leaves, yard waste, or any sort of green waste, and cardboard and paper and manure. So a lot of stuff that we discussed in the previous slides is something that the worms could eat and turn into vermicompost. So our selling point is collaborating with other people and helping businesses to reduce their utility costs. So for example, if you own a landscaping company, you spend money to get rid of the greens. If you're a business in Oakland and you have to have recycling or compost, you pay a monthly fee for those. So we're looking to take away that product from our partners and collaborate with them and turn that into a resource that we can sell. So an organic fertilizer and this vermicompost, which is basically like a super compost. It improves soil structure. It enhances the amount of water that the soil can retain. It provides a lot of essential nutrients for the plants. And as I mentioned, it improves agricultural productivity. And how this is done is, again, we establish a connection with all those businesses, individuals, or communities. We provide a complimentary service to remove their waste, their compost or recyclable, and we process that by feeding that to the worms. We harvest the worms' castings, and we can sell those castings or the worm poop. We can sell the worms themselves, and we can sell a byproduct they call worm tea, which is basically liquid fertilizer. Now there's different tiers of worms, there's different tiers of worm casting. So like there's multiple sources of revenue. And I'll get to that in just a second. Now, our target market is basically anyone that does any sort of farming, whether it's organic or conventional, anyone that has a home garden, urban gardens, anyone that provides a lawn care service or landscaping, plant nurseries, even people that are just a hobbyist and they maybe want to start a composting bin in their backyard. A lot of fishermen actually use a specific strain of worms. They're called Canadian nightcrawlers for fishing. They make great bait. And some people actually use worms to feed their chickens or fish as feed. Now, regarding demand, it's hard to find data exactly on worm castings, but for compost in 2023, the market was about 7.5 billion, and it's expected to grow to 11.8 by 2028, so in 5 years. This is my example of how much basically you can attain from worms. Like again, the soccer field is just for scale, but a pound of worms is about 1,000 worms. It's about 1 pound per square feet. In theory, in the soccer field, you can fit 81,000 pounds of worm. Market price for worms currently are about $40 for 1,000, and the smaller scale gets cheaper and cheaper. So in theory, 81 million worms is 3.2 million. I know that's not how that works in the perfect business world, but there is potential there. And the castings themselves, they go for about $700 for 1,000 pounds. And what's great about worms is that they consume their body weight in about a day, and they produce, if 1,000 pounds of worm produce 200 pounds of casting per day. And the only other thing I was going to share with you is just what it costs to start something simple and scale it up. So starting cost roughly about 6,000. I don't think there's much. You don't need much to start vermicomposting. You need worms, and if you want to do it at home, you just need a bucket and your kitchen waste. But if you want to do it at a larger scale, I'm going to be renting a place on a farm soon, and that will cost me about $220 a month. So in a year, it would cost me about 2,600, and I think I can produce about 200 to 300 pounds of worms just from that space. And just a little bit about me. That's picture me starting my first bin in October, and those were my worms in February. Those guys are the Canadian night crawlers. They're the hardest ones to do. I didn't know anything about worms. I was just passionate about the environment, and I wanted to do something. And in the community, people believe that you can't actually keep these guys, but I've actually been like in contact with people, and everyone's amazed that I've been able to like keep them for as long as I have. So that's just how I know I'll be successful. Thank you.
Okay, now we'll
Any
have
questions?
Yeah, we're gonna have Q&A session with Trudy first, and then Stanley, Aaron. Trudy, do you have any questions?
So good work on choosing the environmental friendly project. I mean, you might I can feel the passion in your voice. There are opportunities that you can collaborate with another sustainability program. There are plenty out of those organizations that you would benefit from the intellectual or any other resource perspective. So one thing to share. I also liked how you thoroughly thought through the expense sheet. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, you are the first one to show the thorough expenses. So I like that. The second one, but what I am I would be asking you is, this is the expense, but what is the benefit against your expense?
That's a great question. Thank you. That's a question I've had for a long time, and it's really hard to quantify it. To be honest, the only real ongoing cost for this is going to be the lease and the labor costs, and anything after that would be profit. And it's really hard to try to figure out, okay, how many worms I'm actually going to produce, how much castings are they going to produce. And I feel like this is a question I could answer if I actually had a farm going on and it was ongoing for a little while and I had more data. But to be honest, the profit margins are smaller than most businesses, and it takes a really long time to scale up and be very profitable. And that's one of the high barriers to entry for this business. And again, like, it's uncertainty. You don't know how much money you're going to make going into it.
Well, uncertainty is there for any business or any jobs also. So apart from that, the following question would be, out of your 3 offering, do you have analysis on which one is more beneficial to you versus which one is more beneficial to the customers?
So that's a great question. So the worms would be the most beneficial to me because they're cheapest ones to make, and they only take 3 weeks to reproduce. The castings would be the most beneficial to customers, but they're also going to be the hardest ones to produce for me. Worms multiply again on a weekly basis. I may be producing worm castings on a daily basis, but it takes a lot of work. Now I have to package those worm casting. I have to sift through it, make sure it's not contaminated with anything else. So it's a lot more work for me on that end.
So
hope
that
answers-
you would account for your expense as well, or level of effort perspective, right?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
third one, not to take away Stanley and Aaron's time, but the third question would be, what are the drawbacks? Like, you would be creating that small farm in this, like, kind of close to the environment where you are living, or any household or any other living spaces. So what are the drawbacks or precautions that you would need to keep it, or when the customer is taking any of your product, what they would need to take a measure? So anything to think about on that line.
Sure. Actually, the biggest drawback is not necessarily the process, it's the legal issues that come with it. It is a very gray area whether it's considered a utility company or is it a warm farm. And to get those resources from our community and even maybe distributing them is going to be the biggest drawback. And the same reason why a lot of other people don't do this. But also space in the Bay Area. It's hard to find a big enough space. And that's very expensive. So thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next, Stanley. Any questions, feedback?
Yeah, one question I have is, have you thought about the logistic process of collecting and sorting? Because you identified the problem early stage, and basically the effectiveness is, by looking at your charts, is only 40%, 30 to 40%. So there's a lot of ways that went into the burners. But at the same time is, how do you collect? How do you sort? And then that goes into your production process.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So I actually have thought about it, and it seems like Waste Management, one of the biggest utility companies, they're not as picky as they could be on the content of their recycling and their composting bins. They are picky, like for example, if you have too much stuff, they'll send you a fine. But when I was thinking about this, is when I do partner with other organizations, I have to most likely make it a conditional contract where it says that the amount of waste that I won't accept has to be like very low, like no plastic or no contaminated material. So that's going to be a condition of me offering free pickup for your recycling. This is someone paying $180, $190 a month for Waste Management to pick up that recycling.
Yeah, and that ties into the cost that Judy asked, because you didn't factor any labor costs associated to it, which would be the highest comparing to everything else besides the land. And which, of course, if you're going to move further away or have your factory further away, then logistic cost needs to factor it in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
That was the exact line of thought I was going down. Was saying you thought very carefully about the real estate expenses, which is probably the biggest one. But yes, along those lines, have you thought about maybe the types of customers that you reach out to first to reduce that fuel expense? If you're doing the pickup, it sounds like. What are your thoughts on that?
So, to be honest, I haven't thought about it at the big enough scale that I'll be doing the pickups. And I know that's a little contradicting to what I was saying earlier, but a person that I have talked to that is willing to partner with me is the owner of a landscaping company, and they have a lot of greens, and they spend around $70 a ton in the city of Berkeley to dump their greens, and they're actually willing to bring the waste to me for free in exchange for just a place to dump it. Now, as you mentioned, as I get bigger, I have to get my own trucks. I have to partner up with other people, so that scalability is going to have a bigger cost. But there are opportunities, at least right now, where I don't have to worry about the cost of transportation.
That's a huge benefit. That's an awesome friend that you have there. In your future conversations with investors and others, I would encourage you to mention that part very prominently, because that really helps you out with that startup time.
Great. Thank you so much.
Okay, that was the end of the all teams pitch and the Q&A session with the judges. Thank you so much for the teams and the judges. And now we're gonna have, let me share my screen first. Okay. So now we're gonna have a fan favorite poll. And I'm gonna launch it now. So you're gonna see the pop-up from your Zoom, and there's a fan favorite pitch. So you can pick one team that you like the most. And I'm gonna put our judges to the breakout room, and they're gonna have a deliberation about 15 to 20 minutes, and then come back with top 3 pitches. So first place, second place, and the third place. Okay. And let me put you into the breakout room. Okay. I opened the breakout room for you. Aaron, Drudy, Stanley. You can join the breakout room. Okay. Right. So I want to have a some announcement about the innovation pitch competition. So we have another pitch competition this April. So this competition is only open to Lam Family College of Business students, but this innovation pitch competition is open to every SFSU student. So anyone who is enrolled in SFSU can apply to this pitch competition, and all concepts, industries are fine, and individuals or teams. So basically the conditions are the same, but it's open to SFSU students. And the prize money is 10 times. So first place will get $5,000, second place, $3,000, third place, $2,000. And the application closes on March 31st, and pitch day is April 12th. And today we have 5 teams. You can submit your concept to this innovation pitch competition. Maybe you just modify your slides a little bit more to pass the initial screening at the innovation pitch competition, because there are more applications usually for the innovation pitch competition. So you want to make your slides better. And if you're interested in this innovation pitch competition, use this QR code to go to the website and apply your concept. Again, the application closes on March 31st. If you have any questions, let me know, and I will answer any questions. Okay. And there's a workshop. So any pitch competence today, or anyone who are interested in this workshop, please join our workshop. This is the compelling pitch. Compelling pitch is the topic, and it's why there's no time. Sorry about that. Why did I miss it? That's April 3rd. So I will just change quickly. April 3rd, 2024 is at the Innovation Hub Humanities Building 125. If you're interested in how to make your pitch better, join this workshop. And it's run by Innovation and the Entrepreneurship Initiative. And the Professor Sibyl Yang will lead this workshop. And if you joined this pitch competition for your suitable credit, use this QR code to add your points. Okay. Okay. I think we need some time to get our results. Until then, if you haven't voted for your favorite team, favorite pitch, then please vote for your favorite pitch. And then we're gonna wait for about 10 more minutes. So we'll be back by 3:50, okay? Until then, if you have any questions about the innovation pitch competition or some innovation and entrepreneurship initiative, please let me know. Yeah, Arvind, do you have any question?
Yes, hello, good afternoon. How are you?
Good, how are
yes, I have a
you?
question. So, good, thank you. I'm driving a little bit. That's why my camera is off. I did see the last two presentations. You were great. I missed the first couple ones. I was wondering if I know you're recording these Zoom meetings. Am I able to access it so I can see it?
Yeah, so that's a really great question. So we are recording this pitch competition today. So it will be available to view later after doing some editing. So if you're interested in the recording, send me an email or you can come to our website. So I will just share the website with you.
Okay.
So this is the website for Lam Family College of Business Pitch Contest. So if you join, if you come here later, then you can find the recording. So you can find the 2023 winners and the 2022 winners at the end of the web page, and you can find the recording for each pitch contest. So like that, you will find the 2024 winners and the recordings.
Okay, great. And then two more questions, please. So how many times are we able to compete as SF students? I'm in part of the Lam family. Are we allowed to compete? Let's say somebody wins this year, can they compete next year?
So can you just
possible?
repeat your question again?
Sure. So I'm wondering, let's say put a scenario, if somebody wins the pitch competition this year, are they able to compete that next year, the following year, and the following year until they graduate, or just once? Is there a limit to competing?
So if it is the
That's what I'm
same
asking.
concept, then that concept won the Lam Family College of Business pitch contest like 2024. And that concept can go to innovation pitch competition in 2024, but not 2025 or 2025 or 2026. Makes sense? Only for that year. But if you apply to 2024 pitch competition, but you didn't win anything, then you can just apply with the concept next year again.
Okay, great. And then, sorry, one more question. One more question. I was reading on the, because again, I'm part of the Lam family business or the business college of business. And the incubator, does that help with mentorship, how to do a business plan, or is any other workshop before the workshop that you just show us? Is there other assistance that we can get for the business plan?
Oh, that's a great question too. So we have an incubator, and that's a consistent mentorship for your innovative idea. I think they are recruiting. So this is, you know, the website, or you don't know? I will just share it with you.
I have a picture of it. I have the QR code, but if you can share it, that would be great. And if it would be
Yeah,
better
so
to get
that's
expertise or mentoring.
Yeah, so that's the web page for incubator. And you can just develop your innovative ideas with the mentors basically. So you can have like some network with other entrepreneurial students and the professionals and also the previous alums, something like that. Yeah. So if you are in the incubator, then it'll be a really great help.
Great. Thank you so much for all the answers.
Yeah. And if you are interested in other workshops, here is a website for the workshops. So you can find the previous recordings of the previous of the workshops, lectures, and the pitch competition. So yeah, our innovation and the entrepreneurship webpage has a lot of information for you.
Okay, great. I never done this competition, but looks like I have time now. Spring break's coming up, so
Great.
more
I'm
time.
looking for that.
And then one more question, so I know we're talking. Are you guys the judges for the pitch competition as well? And if so, what exactly are you looking for?
I mean, for the innovation pitch competition?
Yes.
So it will be similar format. So we're gonna have a review process, and then only top 5 or top 6 competitors will be at the actual pitch competition. So there will be like a lot of applications, and among them, we will just select 5 or 6 pitches to present. And then there will be, yeah, like today we have 3 judges, but like we will have like 4 or 5 judges at the innovation pitch competition because it's a bigger competition.
Correct, the whole school, right? Yes. Understandable. Okay. Awesome. Just wondering. I never done this in my first year here, first semester, so it looks pretty great.
Oh, great. Yeah. Just develop your business ideas, and then, yeah, you may join incubator to get some help. Yeah, apply to incubator.
Okay. Again, thank you for your time.
Sounds good. Okay, I'm not sure when they will finish their deliberation. Okay, let's wait for 2 more minutes, and then I will just ask them to come out to the main room. Yay, thanks, Hasper. Okay, I will join breakout room quickly and then come back, okay? Wait for me for like 1 minute. Okay, we are done. So now we're gonna announce the winners today. Every team did great job. And then there is the favorite team though. Our fan favorite team award goes to Wagway. Congratulations, Wagway team. So Wagway
Thank you,
team,
everyone.
yeah, we'll get extra $100. Congratulations. Okay, next we have third place winner. Third place winner will be announced by Drudy.
Yeah, so first of all, let me congratulate all of you. It's tons of work. Everyone put their best, and kudos to all of you for showing your passion, working hard towards your passion, and also putting some extra effort how you could make that passion into reality. So really, really encourage you all, not stop yourself, move ahead. There should be only one way out. How we can do the reality check, learn from our mistakes or from others' feedback, and move ahead. And we do that, we succeed together. So coming to the third point, we had discussions. We were kind of deciding what to put in front, but we still do have to give the numbers. So number third is the lack of my not remembering the full name, but Hussein, it's your mom's project. You are passionate about it. We can see it, and we also were able to understand your passion turning into reality by the details you presented. Presentations was great. Expense details, how you would take it forward, what are the options for you and the customers, how you would address those options, the options that you presented. You said you do not know how to tackle the risk, but you did. So you answered, you were prepared for the questions also. So additional grace points on being prepared and thinking out of the box on the reality side. Although the project has lots of constraints due to the liability issues, due to legal issues, and Stanley and Aaron, my feedback also includes insight from Stanley and Aaron. So with those aspects, since you have hardship and we need to encourage you to work harder towards your project, we ranked your project to third. But don't stop yourself, move ahead.
Thank you so much, everyone. I really appreciate it.
Okay, so Worms Eco Solutions is the third place, and that team will get $200 for a startup fund. Okay, congratulations. And
Thank you so much.
now, yeah, thank you. And now, second place winner will be announced by Aaron.
Yes, it's my honor to announce OPT Unity as a second place winner. We really appreciated seeing your business model, the thought you put into that, thinking through different revenue streams, and just the specificity of everything that you brought forward, even including kind of your marketing plan and how you wanted to get started. And definitely a strong value proposition to those on the F1 visa and the international students. So well done and great job.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so the second place is OPT Unity, and that team will get $300 for a startup fund. Congratulations again. And now we have the first winner. First winner team will be announced by Stanley. Stanley, who is the first winner team?
So obviously, every time that when we go through this type of deliberation is very tough. And congratulations to all of you, because even though if you didn't make it to be on the winners list, you should able to learn something out of this experience. And like Drudy said, that hopefully you can continue to learn from this experience and enhancing your pitch context on the next one, because this is more of a practice on the real life. I have went through if not dozens, if not hundreds and multi-dozens of them. And every time when I present, I learn something out of it. So don't get discouraged if you're not one of the winner. Just keep on charging on and learn from this and improve from it. So with that said, the winner, of course, is going to be Wackway in this case, because she has spent a lot of time, a lot of effort, and producing the presentation, producing the details, and answering our questions. Although some of the real life challenges that you might not able to foresee that we as judges that we have experienced, but as part of the student life, you have very well prepared on your presentations and you have answered our questions in a very, humble manner, if I may, and able to prepare those questions for, answers for us. So that's why that you are in the first place. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Wackway in the team. Yep.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your time as well.
Do you have anything to say more? Because you're the first winner, so enjoy this moment.
No, I mean, I want to say congratulations to everyone because I know we had to go through a process just to even be here, which is incredible that we did that. And I want to thank you all for your time and your feedback. And I've taken notes and I've taken that to heart. And hopefully I can continue to build on this. And I'm not currently part of the mentorship program, but I plan on joining it. So hopefully I can get some more feedback on building this idea. So congratulations, everyone. Thank you.
Sounds good. Congratulations. So you're the first place. So you'll get $500 and also you'll be the finalist for the innovation pitch competition. So you have to prepare for the pitch at the innovation pitch competition on April 12th. Okay. Congratulations. So that's it. And I want to thank you all. So judges, you gave great feedback, amazing feedback to students, and it'll be really helpful for them to develop their ideas more, and then they can submit it to the innovation pitch competition later. And then, yes, students, even though some of you didn't get the any rewards today, you can still submit your ideas to the innovation pitch competition by developing more based on the feedback you've given today. So don't be discouraged, and you did amazing. So yeah, you did all great job. And the audiences, I mean, I know that like some of the audiences already left during the deliberation, but like thank you for staying until now. And hope to see you again next year and another pitch competitions. Thank you all. Bye.
Thank you. Thank you all. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Also,